Hey guys, so I am finally got my seat installation kit, and here goes the third time with upholstery installation. You know, no one said this is easy, but it's really not that complex. These are probably the most complex seats that I've ever assembled because of all the little parts that they have, but they're not really. It's not like a difficult installation, but having the right parts and kits is really important. And here's why. I'll show you. I have the molded foam seat uh, padding. That's basically it's the only way to go in my opinion. But without the burlap or I don't know, potato sack material or whatever, you can see. And I didn't even sit on, as you saw in the last segment, I actually had the covers on and it was pulled very well over the seat frame. But you can see how that the springs from the seat frame are basically just chewing into the foam, and I could imagine jumping at me especially getting in and out of the seat would just start chewing away at it. So this material here is what's going to save this from occurring prematurely. So I wouldn't recommend going without it. And the seat, honestly, for 2 seats, it was like $30 for that installation kit. So make sure you get that. It's really, really important. It's critical. I was more, it's not a big deal to install this stuff without it, just to get it stretched over, because I'm always worried the stuff's not going to stretch over it enough. But honestly, it was fine without the pad or with the padding. So it wasn't as bad. I think the rear seats were actually more difficult. So I've got this the foam removed, obviously, and I'm back down to just a regular seat frame here. And now I'm gonna restart, hopefully once and for all. I'm gonna put that I don't know why it's hard, for the burlap, I think that stuff's called, or potato sack, whatever. I'm gonna put that stuff on here, get our listing wire installed dead center, and then a strip of 2-inch felt goes around the edge to further protect this edge from working its way through the, the seat upholstery. So here we go. Alright, let's try this again. Burlap. That's what this stuff's called. Oh, I have such a hard time with that. Don't they make purses out of this stuff? Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure my wife would know. So I'm going to do a little bit of an overlap. Like 2 inches. If you want to see an expert do this, go watch the legendary YouTube channel. They are manufacturers of this stuff, and they will probably do a much better job than me. But I'm out there and I'm doing it. honest, I'm not sure what the listing wire is for. Might just be for some added support, but I could be wrong. Let me know if you know what it's for in the comments. I'm open to learn something, as I do every day. Still. Kind of deceiving when you're putting the felt on. You gotta make sure you're actually clamping around the edge of the seat frame wire. I just missed it just then, so something to be aware of. Yeah, some spots are not able to get the hog ring around the frame, so I was kind of like feeling it out first. Otherwise, you just keep going through hog rings like you've seen me doing. It's just little kind of go by feel. Got my covers outside soaking in the sun. It's quite warm today, so it should work out pretty good. It's one thing about doing upholstery. When it's warm, it makes it easier on you. You leave them out in the sun, they'll get warm and stretch a little. I don't know why I make things so hard on myself. You know, it's just like not reading the directions. You're like, I got this. No problem. Don't need to read the directions. Nothing. I'm fine. I've done this before. Don't do that. Just read the directions. Watch the videos. YouTube, as you probably know, is a very important and powerful tool in the hopes of learning a trade or something. Shamefully, I mean, I had these covers on, well, so I thought. I had them almost wrapped up, just about ready to, I mean, this is like the last step before I can like start driving my car on the regular basis. I don't need door panels, I don't need rear panels. Hell, I don't even need a windshield, just drive the thing around. I'll just put my sunglasses on and go, but no, it's, you know, when you spend so much money on buying parts, it's hard to skip a step. It really is. It's just like, I ask myself, what am I doing? Anyway, enough of that. So, you heard me asking, what's that listing wire for? The wire in the center. That piece of wire that I bent in the weird, kind of a weird S shape in the center. I mounted that to the burlap. Well, now that I have this pad on, I should have done it before. I actually fastened the pad down, but so now I need to find the center of this. And I'll show you why in a sec here. Two, 11. Just being a stubborn male is just, I guess, part of the deal, I guess. We don't need to stop for directions. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have things done a lot quicker if I just slowed down sometimes and read the directions. So basically, the reason I'm finding center here is because there is this pocket or little fold over mounted to the back of this very expensive seat cover. Well, what this does is it makes that impression. Let's see if I can replicate it. It makes an impression in the center of the seat, so it looks factory. So basically, this guy is going to go through a cut in this line right here, and yeah, I have to cut the seat foam right down the center. And what I do is I attach this wire, the listing wire, to the other listing wire, and that'll create that look of pulled in the center, and so it looks really, really nice and pro. So yeah, just follow the directions and read the instructions. It's just so much easier. Don't be a moron like me and have to do it 4 and 5 times. I honestly only needed 100 hog rings. After I go through this box, I'll have gone through 300 hog rings. So it's not all glamour here, boys and girls. I share the mistakes. Shameful, I know. But you live and you learn, or you're supposed to live and learn. So anyway, so now I found my center. I'm gonna make this incision. Alright, we're getting back on track. Chat Stewart. Got my listing wire for the top portion of the back of the seat. Measure it. Watch out. This is not for you. Why are you doing this? This isn't for you. I thought we create this area for you. Come on, buddy. There you go. You're creating a distraction. Listing wire gives us an anchor point to the center of that accent in the padding cover or the seat cover. Remember me saying I have no idea what this is for, but I'm gonna put it on anyway. Well, that's what it's for. And glad I stopped. So you gotta anchor this down so it not only can't move this way, but you don't want it to move this way either. Because we're going to clamp this down before we wrap the seat cover over it. So upper back, cover the listing wire through, make it a S shape. Find my top and bottom here, so I know how far to cut the foam forward or up and down. Basically, I have to cut all the way through the foam, so this wire can attach to the wire on the frame itself. So this guy belongs with the cover now. I haven't cut the other one yet. I still have yet to mark that one, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one before I attach the get the name of this stuff. Starts with an M. Get a new blade here. Okay. This is going to be a deep cut. Hopefully not on my arm. Don't forget this panel, and you got to also make sure you got these provisions in. I also have to cut out a spot for these guys too. They recommend it, cutting out those spots even if you don't have headrest provisions. I'm not saying cut the upholstery. They're just recommending that you cut the foam so you don't see any sort of transitional line on the top of the seat. In fact, I'm not going to put my headrests on right away. I still have to source a cover or something for the headrests. I may actually give that to an expert. So that'll at least be the one thing on the car that's done professionally. But I'm proud to say that would be the first thing, well, besides the paint, that I've had to sub out. And I'm proud of that. And you just want to, when you're hog ring, you want to go down or in the opening of the hog ring. You want to basically point it down away from your backside, of course. But there is still 3 inches of foam between you and the frame, so you're most likely gonna be just fine. This back tongue will be our first anchor point once the listing wire is in place. So you don't want to turn that one inside out, but this stuff you do. Just to get it stretched. Might need to put it in the sun a little bit more. Fold it in half. Might have to do this a couple times. I hope not, though. Alright, you guys are probably tired of seeing me do upholstery. Frankly, I'm tired of it myself. But that threw me for a loop, having to cut the foam and basically land that wire that I attached to the seat cover to the wire that I attached to the burlap cover on the frame itself. That took some doing to get those attached. There really wasn't much to film, so I didn't film it. It was a struggle, I'm not gonna lie. But I do have the lower seat assembled, and now you can see that listing wire that's attached to the springs is now attached to the other listing wire, which is attached to the seat cover itself, thus creating that little crease down the center for that classic OEM look. But now I do have it pulled over the front. It's anchored in the back first here. The seat cover is actually designed to anchor this first before you even pull this over the front. It's got like double and triple stitches here on the corner, so don't worry about blowing them out. But if you do it the other way, they said that there's a good chance that you can pull those threads out on the seams in the back. So you got to do the back first. But I'm going to put this out in the sun and let it relax a little bit before I pull the sides and front tight. And I'll work on the backrest. Got to do the same thing, basically attach listing wire to listing wire and then fold it over the front. But I'm not going to put you guys through all that. Basically, you get the idea. Next thing you're going to see is me assembling the seats. So give me a sec and I'll get right to it. Alright, here's the finished product. Obviously the bottom side of the seat base. Unfortunately you can see the hog rings, but you're supposed to have those there. Not sure how I'm going to feel about that, if you could see them, but whatever. But yeah, this was a challenge. Stunning to put that on there. My seatbelt, those seatbelt retainers that go here, and I'm about to poke a hole in the side here for the hinge on the seat back, basically for this guy, and then that's for the latches, the locks. But here's the seat back, and that's how things came out. There's actually a panel that goes here, so this is supposed to be open, but yeah, seams are pretty straight, and I think I tidied these up okay. Not too bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but neither is the rest of the car. But I'm happy with the way it came out, and the legendary interior YouTube post actually helped me quite a bit on figuring out how to do all this. There's a pad in here, obviously, that I almost forgot. I've been through, like I said, like 300 hog rings for this, but let me show you the front side here, how it went. I figured I'd spare you guys all of the details, but I'm pretty proud of that. And that little crease right here from the cut in the side, it's not as prominent as I thought it would be, but it came out pretty good. I still need the headrest. As soon as I could figure out a place to it'll redo my headrests, or if there's a kit out there. But basically I'm going to keep these covered up for now, because in '69 the headrests were an option, so I won't get beat on too hard in case someone notices. But you can see without those little chrome bezels on the top there, it's pretty easy to spot that there's a little opening there, kind of, or there should be for that little chrome guy. But basically it's just one hole and that chrome bezel goes here. So let me show you the seat base and get to assembling this. Seat base came out pretty good. Kind of see how everything kind of came out. These guys are really came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I mean, for a guy that doesn't do upholstery, I guess I do now, but not professionally. Not real happy with that little guy there, but there's actually a plastic cover that goes over the hinge right here, so you won't see that. But yeah, all the factory little standoffs and spacers all ready to go. Hinges are rebuilt and new, not new, but rebuilt, refreshed, we'll say. But yeah, there it is. One down and two to go. Well, one more base and one more backrest, but I will spare you guys that footage because I know it's been painstaking, and if it's been painstaking for you, imagine how painstaking it's been for me. So anyway, car builder life. All right, let's put this seat back on. Here's a little hack. The old soldering iron works really well at putting a nice round cauterized hole for the seat bolts to go into. Just like that. Pretty cool.